What's going on, y'all? It's Mason Bleasdell, your Austin real estate agent, and today we are in Goodnight Ranch. And if this is a neighborhood that you're considering, this is going to be the ultimate guide for you for one of the coolest developments here in South Austin. Before we jump in the car and actually go for a drive around Goodnight, this is a 770-acre master planned community, which features a lot of things. There's, of course, single family homes. There's also a lot of individually deeded townhomes. So you're going to share the same foundation and you're going to share either one or two walls with your neighbors next to you, but it's a great way to be in this location, own, and still be able to, have your own space. There's also a lot of single family homes here. There's a myriad of different types and sizes available, but there's a ton of great amenities. And honestly, the location is one of the best parts about this community. So let's jump in the car. I've got a lot of really cool things to show you. All right, y'all, so in this one, we're gonna talk first about some lifestyle and location. We're also gonna talk about some numbers and some practical things, as well as finishing off with what some of the homes are like in this neighborhood. So to begin, location and lifestyle. We are at the kind of very southeast corner of Austin proper. So of course you still have an Austin address here, but we are starting to be a little bit farther out. Now, that said though, it really isn't, practically speaking, very far out from all the things you would normally do day to day. The brand new huge H-E-B, the local grocery store here, just opened up. That's 10 minutes from here max. You've got access to a Gold's Gym. You've got access to a myriad of really good restaurants. We are in South Austin, which any of you locals know is one of the best places to go out, whether it's, looking for like live music, something fun to do, good coffee shops, those kind of things, or restaurants. You're really well covered here. Anybody local will tell you that. So don't feel like you're actually that far out, even though we are on the edge of town. But being on the edge of town also gives some perks. This neighborhood directly north of it borders the Onion Creek Greenbelt Preserve, which is such a cool benefit of this neighborhood. It's literally out the window right now where we're driving. And the biggest perk of that is if you want to get out, you want some space to go for walks, go for hikes. If you're into mountain biking, that is one of the best places in all of Austin to do it, and it's directly across the street from Goodnight Ranch. Of course, you have the Goodnight Lake, they call it. Of course, it's not really a lake. It's a water retention pond, but it is very pretty and it gives a lot of nice green space. There's walking paths all the way around it. So there's a lot of perks that come with being kind of on the edge of town. And when we talk about numbers, so hang tight for that, there's a couple more like monetary perks that come with it as well. And then last real thing to note before we transition into some of the numbers and the nitty gritty of this neighborhood, you'll also notice too that the elementary school, while it's not technically on site, is literally directly across the street from a very small road. You could easily walk there, Blazer Elementary, and this is in Austin ISD. So just be aware, it's always super, super cool to have that. Even my clients who don't have kids that are elementary age, it's always a super nice perk to have that. It's really good for resale value, if nothing else. Let's talk a little bit about nitty gritty. Now, because of the different house styles in here, HOA fees are gonna vary. A lot of the townhomes are around $80 a month, whereas some of the single family detached are lesser than that. Some of the HOA fees do include things like landscaping. So anyways, that's gonna vary quite a bit, about a little bit more house specific. But the tax rate here, like I mentioned, being a perk of being farther out of town, is tiny. 2.1% as of the time of recording this video is definitely one of the biggest perks. That makes a huge difference on things like monthly payment if you're escrowing your taxes. So just be aware, that's one of the biggest perks about this one. And if you're doing research on this area and you've probably looked up Easton Park in the past, we're a whole 0.5% lower annually than Easton Park, for example. So this one little slice of Goodnight Ranch is really, really nice in terms of those things. Now, in terms of the houses in here, you're gonna see prices from the low 300s all the way up to about 750,000, with square footages ranging from about 1,300 square feet up above 3,200. So depending on where and what kind of range you're looking at, you can expect those prices at least as of 2024 when we're recording this video. Now, because of that, because of the low taxes, this is a very popular investment opportunity. There's quite a few investment homes in here that are purely purchased on, cash flow projections, and because we're so close to a lot of the employers and a lot of the fun things with South Austin, it's become a very popular community for that. So let's talk a little bit more about housing, because there's some really cool stuff coming soon. And one of the absolute coolest perks of this neighborhood too, as you can see over my shoulder right now, is they're bringing in some commercial. Now, There's an Austin Regional Clinic currently being built just up the corner here. This retail space is going to turn into little shops, little restaurants, things like that as well. Kind of making this feel a little bit more urban than, you know, your traditional master plan suburban community. By far and away, one of the nicest perks, and all of this is easily walkable to, you know, your house if you were living here. Now, Empire, the builder that is building out this community, has some really cool products like what you can see out the window right now. There are some 3-story detached, you know, townhouse style units. You've got these attached townhomes. If you're looking for something that's super easy, basically no maintenance, lock and leave kind of lifestyle, you've got that option here. Those are also at a really competitive price point. Or like you can see over my shoulder here, your more traditional single family detached homes. There's a good bit of variety in here. Now, if you're looking at this on a map too, Goodnight Ranch does straddle both the north and south side of Slaughter Lane, which is the main access road into and out of Austin. So we're gonna jump to the south side of Slaughter where they're building a lot of the things currently to show you around just a little bit. So if you are looking into some new construction here on the south side of Goodnight Ranch, which will have its own amenity center and all those cool things too, you know, you won't have to cross Slaughter to try to get to them. David Weekley Homes is still building out. You've got Empire Homes just through here. They're all very kind of the same style, but both builders are gonna have a couple of their own little touches. They're gonna have different color options, those things as well. So, you know, definitely check those out. And if you wanna come out here in person with me, I'd love to show you around a little bit more in terms of like what's available out here. Like I mentioned, this is 770 acres by the time it is all built out. So there's gonna be a good variety, including like these, if you take a look out the window here. These are some more, they're individually deeded, but they do of course share a foundation, and you're gonna share one wall with your neighbor. Homes by Avi, which are gonna have a little bit lower of a price point. So if you're wanting to come into this neighborhood, you know, and be able to save on some expenses, those are really a great option. You've also got some, of course, bigger single family detached, like the one straight ahead of us, even 3 stories in some cases. There's some like garage apartment kind of styles here. Anyways, some really unique products that are not offered in a lot of the other neighborhoods around Austin. And again, these are gonna fall, most of them, in that, you know, high $400,000 to $600,000 range. So you get a lot for your money out here, especially when you consider the tax rate, when you consider how moderate the HOA fees are. It's really, really neat. There's of course some inventory, there's some build from scratch left. So if you're thinking about this, reach out, we can set up an appointment to come out here and take a look at these in person. Y'all, I hope this tour was helpful to you if you're considering Goodnight Ranch or comparing it to some of the other communities around here. I sure hope this was valuable to you. If it was, reach out, call, text, email me anytime. My direct contact info is on the screen right now. I'd love to be that real estate agent of choice for you, whether you're looking at new homes or resales, not only to find you the right house, but aggressively work for you to find the right lifestyle, the right neighborhood, the right community to be able to come in and be right for you and your family. And if you want to check out some of these homes in person, I'd love to show them to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.